Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a tutorial on this warm bronze summer makeup look. So if you want to see how I achieve this look, definitely keep on watching. But first, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. If you aren't already, I upload videos twice a week, Tuesdays and Sundays. So I'd love to have you back here. Now let's jump into this tutorial. Alright, so I already prepped my skin. I put on my hyaluronic acid. My skin is like not doing so hot right now, so ignore that first of all. But I put on some hyaluronic acid, some glass skin refining serum, and then a little bit of rose spray for some hydration. But I am going to go in with this Cover FX Dewy Skin Primer just as a nice little base. I like using this a lot for the summertime because I feel like it holds your makeup in really well and stays in place, but it does give like a little bit of an extra dew, especially for kind of more matte or just natural finish foundations. I think that this looks amazing underneath of it, and it's not going to make your makeup too slippery, so it's not going to like slide around on your face. I feel like it actually does a good job at priming the skin and kind of gripping onto your makeup while also making it look dewy. Okay, so I was debating between two foundations today. I have here the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy Foundation, and then I was between the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. I really love the way that my skin looks, especially with this makeup look and combined with this primer. However, it is going to be very light for me. My Physicians Formula one is a little bit more of a medium shade, so that would have matched me a little better, but I just really wanted to use this. So we're going to go in with this today, and hopefully we can fix it with a little bit of bronzer later on. This is absolutely one of my favorite foundations, if you guys haven't figured that out by now, but it is so pretty and so affordable. I'm definitely going to be picking up a darker shade of it so that it kind of blends in a little bit better with my skin tone. I was also a little bit hesitant to use this one today because I am having a little bit of dryness on my face. Like I have a really dry patch right here and a little bit on my nose too, and I find that when I wear foundation that is noticeably lighter than my skin tone, it really emphasizes my dry patches. So hopefully the dewiness of this one kind of eliminates that problem, but I just think it looks so pretty. Yes, it is. Well, it's not that different. So I think it'll be okay once we add a little bit of concealer, which is a little bit of a deeper shade, and some bronzer. Alright, so I'm debating if I want to go in with another layer or just cover up some of these blemishes that I have here and around this region with my concealer. I think I'm going to go with that one because I don't want it to be too heavy, especially it being a lighter color. By the way, this one is in the shade Shell Ivory, the Wet n Wild foundation. And now for concealer, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This is in the shade Light Sand. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of this here in my inner corners, some on my forehead, a little bit down my nose, and kind of all in this chin region where my skin's not looking so hot. I'm just going to take some of this concealer too and drag it onto my eyelids as a little bit of a primer for the shadow. I feel like I haven't used real eyeshadow primer in so long, because it's just so much easier to go right in with the concealer that you're using. It takes way less time, and honestly I don't see that much of a difference between the two. I really like this concealer. It has become one of my absolute favorites. I will probably be repurchasing it for the summertime. I think that the finish is so pretty, and it definitely has great coverage on days that I want more of a minimal makeup look. I will just go right in with that concealer, and it still has the power of covering some of my blemishes that I want it to, but it also looks very natural and pretty at the same time. Okay, so this is the finished base. We are looking so dewy and luminous. I love it. So I am gonna set little bits and pieces of my face, especially here in my under eyes, because I don't want my mascara to transfer, a little bit here in my T-zone just because it can get a little bit oily there, especially in the summertime with it being a little bit hotter and more humid, and I have some breakouts there too, so I think that setting it will help kind of keep that makeup there and cover them up. And I'm just going to set a little bit here in my smile lines too. But before we do that, I'm going to go in with a brow product because I like to let my foundation and concealer sink in a little bit before I go in to set it, so that way it's just not like sitting on top of the makeup and the makeup is really sunk into my skin. before setting it. Anyways, for my brows today, we're gonna go in with the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil. This is in the shade medium brown, I believe. I would say it's a pretty good match if you are close to my hair color. I could use a little bit of a deeper shade. This kind of pulls slightly red, which my hair doesn't really have a red undertone to it. I do really enjoy this brow pencil, but I find since it's so skinny and so precise, it takes a little bit longer to finish your brows because there's just more strokes that you have to do. Alright, so we are back with the brows done. Now I'm going to go ahead and set my face just in those areas that I mentioned before. I'm going to use this little tiny Ciate London powder, and I'm just going to dab it on the back of my hand here so I can dip my sponge into it, because there's no way any brush is fitting in that little container. Alright, so now it is time to move on to probably my favorite aspect of this makeup look, the eyes. So today on the eyes, we're going to be using the e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow palette in Pumpkin Pie. I always get confused if it's Pumpkin Pie or Pumpkin Spice, but it's Pumpkin Pie, and it's this gorgeous kind of... It does have a little bit of an orange tint, mostly though just this shimmer. The rest of them are pretty brown. So we're going to be using all of these shades today. We're going to use this in the crease, this on the outer corners, and really blend these two together nicely. And then we're going to pop this one, actually, no, I want to use the deeper one on the lid first and with a brush, and then on top of it with my finger, we're going to go in with this shade here. They don't have specific names, but this is the more like orangey shimmer, and just tap that onto the lid on top of this one, more concentrated in the center of the lid, so it gives a little bit of an orangey highlights, and it will look so pretty, I hope, at least. Okay, so these are the finished eyes, well, at least the lids. Now for our bottom lashes, you can go in and just smoke some of these colors onto your bottom lashes, but I am actually going to go in with an eyeliner today, which is a little crazy because I'm not the biggest eyeliner fan, but I find with this look, this just looks so pretty with it. So this is the Revlon Color Stay Micro Hyper Precision Gel Liner, and I have mine in the brown shade, which is why I think this looks so gorgeous with this eye look. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some to, whoops, looks a little messy right there, my waterline down here, and make sure it is very, very precise and thin, just because I think it does an amazing job at kind of making your eyes stand out a little bit. So I'm back with the liner on. As you can tell, well, maybe you can tell, it is very, very thin, but I just think it looks so much more bold and just a little bit more put together. So for lashes today, I'm going to go in with the Hourglass Caution Mascara. I enjoy this stuff. It's not my absolute favorite, but I'm kind of just trying to use it up right now. I definitely have mascaras that I like better than this one, but it's not like I dislike this by any means. Alright, so now that the eyes are done, the rest is pretty easy peasy. For bronzer today, I was in between two. Usually with this look, I like to go in with the Wet n Wild Contour Stick in the shade Oaks on You. However, since this foundation is a little bit lighter, this does pool very orange. So I'm not going to go in with this one today, even though I really enjoy it. But today I'm going to actually go in with this Ofra bronzer in the shade Americano. It is kind of a nice shimmery bronzer, but it's nothing too intense. It is very pigmented though, so you have to be really careful with this. This one is a little bit pricier, so if you want something that's a little bit more affordable and still looks really good with this sort of combo, I would definitely recommend the Wet n Wild one. This one does pool a little bit of orange too, especially on my skin tone, but being that it is a powder, it's kind of a little bit more forgiving and you can blend it out a little bit easier and it won't look too crazy. Alright, and for blush today, I'm going to go in with this Pixie blush in the shade Beach Rose. I like how warm this is, and it's not too pink either. I was really looking for a kind of more warm toned blush, but I don't actually have one that is warmer than this one, so this one is a little cracked, but I really enjoy this color. I'm going to go in with this kind of flimsy Alexi brush. This is the 640 Pro Precision Tapered brush, and I like using this brush for blush because I can kind of just drag it out nicely on my cheek so it doesn't look like it is too like round. I like whenever my blush is a little bit more elongated and just goes kind of with the flow of the bronzer. Also, we're just going to take a little bit of this and run it on my nose too, so it just gives a hint of color there, especially since this foundation is a little bit lighter. You can obviously just leave the look like this, or you can go in with highlight. I'm going to go in with a little bit today just because I want to feel a little bit fancier. Oh goodness. Okay, that was not ideal, so I'm just going to go in with this Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector highlight in the shade Opal. However, as you can tell, it just cracked all over the place, and it got all over my chair, which is white, and all over my floor, which is dark, so you can see all of the highlight streaks in my hands are all shimmery now, but we're gonna finish this up real quick and then I will clean it. So I'm just gonna take this fluffy brush. I'm still gonna go in with this. I will say this highlighter is very soft from trying to pick it up. It crumples everywhere, so that's a good thing, but I'm just gonna take a little bit of this onto my cheekbones right here. I think this color is so pretty. I'm so sad that it broke, but at least it's still usable. I'm gonna put some down my nose and just right on the tip here, and a little bit on my cupid's bow too. All right, and for lips today, I'm gonna go in with one of my favorite colors. This is the Bite Beauty Power Matte Lip Crayon in the shade Calvados. This is one of my absolute favorites, and I think that it goes so well with this eye look. All right, and then before we finish it up, I'm going to go ahead and set my face with the Morphe setting spray. All right, and this is the finished warm bronze summer makeup look. enjoyed this tutorial and found it helpful or maybe just entertaining to watch. This is definitely one of my favorite summer makeup looks. I think it goes so perfectly for just casual summer days where you want to look a little bit glam, or even if you're going out on vacation this summer and just want to get a little bit done up and be kind of warm and bronzy. This is definitely the perfect look for it, and a lot of the products too are very affordable, which is nice, especially that eyeshadow palette. I feel like that is the star of the show. You can kind of interchange the rest of the products with whatever products that you prefer, high-end, affordable, drugstore, but the e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow in the shade Pumpkin Pie is definitely one of my favorite products to use with this makeup look, so that is definitely a must for this, but it's only $3, so it's super affordable and it works really well too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the tutorial with me, and I hope you will subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. Like I said, I upload videos twice a week, Tuesdays and Sundays, so I would love to have you back here, and thanks again for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next one. Bye.